Ndinoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa My hitters gon' don't die, the real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' rise, 'cause we're born to win, yeah, I ain't saying, but I'm saying loyalty's my favorite characteristic of God, but finding it in it is hard. It's like trying to find God. You're the only one in your camp with cheese. You pay for everything they eat. Man, that insecurity is deep. Now I ain't said no names. These are just theories. If you hear me, baby, it's home. You must admit it's kinda eerie, baby. Like them chemtrails in the sky. Hate to selling the slaves, kinda like the combines. We say everything in moderation, but don't do it in moderation. The lies of a gluttonous generation. 10-year-old girl in.
Hi, everybody. Grand Rising and good morning to all of y'all out there. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. And you guys, I have a jam-packed Friday for you. I'm so excited to have all of these guests in the building today. You guys will also see that we got some really cool additions right here to the set. So we'll show you guys that in just a second. But I want to thank all of my guests for joining me today. We got Cesar who will be joining us up first. He's going to be telling us about a $23 million fund out there that is going to be used towards redevelopment. It looks like Amazon is paying the fee. So we'll talk to him a little bit later about that. And after him, I get to dive in with Anita Beck from Nikky's Niche Designs, my very first Fashion Friday for y'all. Y'all are always asking me where I find my stuff, and I tell you, I am her number one customer. Now, she's going to tell you that later in the show. And then we get to wrap everything up with Rasheeda Frazier. She's going to be joining us and telling us all about how she empowers businesses with Empowering Greatness, Inc. So let me tell you, really packed show today. Of course, I want to remind you all right now is a great time for you to tag and share the stream. Tag and share this stream, y'all, with people that you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on The Day with Trae. Also, if you guys can't watch the show like TV style, you know, now YouTube and everything else is all on the big tube. But if you can't watch it, that's okay. We got you covered. You guys can also listen to us anywhere that you find your favorite podcast. You guys can just search Converge Media Network. We're on all the major ones, Google, Spotify, iTunes, as well as all the ones I don't even know about, because there's over 200 platforms for you guys to dive in and listen to all the shows we have right here on Converge. I want to thank all of you out there who are listeners, because as we get this data coming in, we are learning that people are listening to us all over the world. Thank you so much for tuning in to everything we have going on here at Converge Media. We appreciate all the love and all of the support. Now, I got to remind you guys too, the Digital Sales Access Program is still going on. It looks like it's going to close today. If you know of a small business who could benefit from an updated point of sale system, make sure you guys tell them where to go. Shout out to Office of Economic Development, OED, for all of the work that they're pouring into this effort. It's an amazing way for you to get your training, get a brand new system, ensure your customers feel secure with these security measures that are also built into the system. So please, I'm encouraging all business owners who don't already have something that is very much working for them, utilize this opportunity, get the training, and get the updated sell system. All right, you guys. Cesar Canizales, he's going to be telling us all about this funding. What's up, Cesar? You were out there in the streets recently, huh?
Hey, Trae. Thanks for having me over. Yeah, it was really exciting, really emotional. Press conference by Amazon and a bunch of community-based organizations out in Mount Baker. We had El Centro de la Raza, the Mount Baker Housing Association, and Gardner Global were there. So was the mayor, Mayor Bruce Harrell. They were announcing $23 million in housing, to affordable housing. This is going to go to preserve housing, because it's really important to preserve affordable housing and also to build. These organizations have been working for years to try to obtain funding for their housing projects. El Centro de la Raza, for example, they're putting up a building, 87 units for affordable housing. People who are moderate to low income, for example, they can afford to move into those places starting in 2024. Mount Baker Village is getting millions of dollars as well. Gardner Global is getting 4.5 million. Gardner Global is led by Jebediah Gardner. He's the founder and CEO of the organization. But Estela Ortega, the director for El Centro de la Raza, was there. She was really, really excited. I mean, her surprise. I mean, the emotion, the excitement was palpable. Here's what she had to say.
Before I start my typed up comments, I have to tell you a story. Is that when we applied for dollars and talking to Amazon, we thought that we were applying for a loan of $3.5 million. It turns out that it is a grant, a gift of $3.5 million. Yay!
Wow, Cesar. So I'm telling you, it looks like funding is flowing freely. Now, there was more announcements, right?
Yeah, well, I talked to Mayor Bruce Harrell, about the significance of this. It's probably just a start, obviously, because from Amazon, there's a lot more work that needs to be done. But here, take a listen to Bruce Mayor.
Well, I'm excited because it brings the partnership we're looking for. We're looking for large companies like Amazon, and we'll take them all, but Amazon stepped up through their Housing Equity Fund. Then they partner with African-American-owned businesses and Latinx businesses, people who are the human beings like Estela Ortega and Jebediah Gardner who are doing this work. Jebediah talked about building wealth in the Black community. He's actually doing the work. So this is when the right forces come together. They invest in our community, and that's what One Seattle is all about, making sure that all boats rise because we're intentional about it. So no victory laps, because it's a journey, and we're going to keep this journey going. So I'm pretty excited about what we're doing today.
Oh my goodness. Look, Bruce was in the building, Mayor Bruce Harrell. I'm so glad you were able to tap in with him. It looks like this is going to be a part of his One Seattle initiative, which we've been hearing so much about. I'm glad you were out there in the field, Cesar. What else was going on?
Well, I talked to Jebediah Gardner. He's a real estate developer. He talked about the importance and the significance of this. Apparently, it was a big secret, to have this, to get this funding. They've been hiding it for like 6 or 7 months, he told me. Here, take a listen.
Yeah, well, we've had to keep this information in our pocket very quiet for the past 6-7 months. So it's exciting to actually be able to, let out the secret and make sure we inform folks that Amazon made a very substantial $4.5 million investment in Gardner Global. So we're super excited to announce it, and it's even more exciting to see our friends and family and supporters who came out and helped make this happen.
This is exciting. I actually just ran into Jebediah last night, and he was telling me that he was so glad to make sure Converge Media was there. So I'm glad that you were out there. And it looks like, we talk about this all the time in Black community. We need more resources coming into the initiatives that we're doing. So this is a great step in the right direction. Looks like you got one more clip to set up for us. What was going on?
Well, the mayor also spoke about that. It's like you mentioned. I mean, it's $23 million. It's not nothing, but there's a lot more that needs to be done. The mayor talked about that here. Here's what he had to say.
Well, what I'd like to see is other companies recognize the leadership to this Amazon Housing Equity Fund for them to create similar funds. I want to see the continued success and investment into these developers who are not doing this for their own wealth. They're doing this to build wealth in other families and other communities here. They're helping our next generation of leaders. That's part of my job, too, to make sure I'm nurturing the political leadership talent and the civic leaders here in this city.
It's really important. I mean, when you think about you being out there and feeling the energy from all of these partners who are involved, tell us some of your thoughts about how these investments are going to now impact the rest of us as Seattle residents.
Well, like the mayor said, a lot more work needs to be done. I mean, it's a long process. I mean, we walk on the streets, we see what's going on out there, people getting pushed out from Seattle down into South King County. Jebediah talked about, in my conversation with him, he talked about the importance of ownership, how important it is for Black people, for brown people, people of color to have ownership, and not just real estate, but also businesses. It's like, because you need to build wealth, and then and once you build that wealth, you can pass it on to the future generations. That's really important. It's not just a matter of building for right now. You got to look to the future. You got to always look to the future in these things, in these matters.
I agree with you 100% here, Cesar. And I thank you for being out there and to be able to cover this press conference for Converge and to bring all of these gems and nuggets back to us right here so we can air it on the day with Trae. I'm looking forward to you being with us. Maybe we'll be seeing you out there in the field again soon. Cesar, thank you so much again for being with us. Make sure people know right there, if you have social media, any way you want folks to follow you, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, thanks, Trae, for having me over here. I'm on social media. I'm on LinkedIn and on Facebook and Twitter and things like that. But I'm more of a lurker, to be honest. I don't post much on Twitter. Twitter can be a little bit too wild sometimes, and sometimes my blood pressure starts going up when I
we don't
read
want
too
that.
much. Yeah,
We
I
don't
don't
want
want
that.
that. So but I'll put some stuff out there, and I'll tag Converge and all that, so
Thank you.
people can look it up.
Amazing.
Right.
Well, Cesar, again, thank you for being out there and for bringing this fun to our awareness and to our audience's awareness. $23 million, honestly, in development. We know it's a drop in the bucket, but again, a step in the right direction. Thanks so much for sharing.
Thank you, Trae.
Absolutely. You guys stay tuned after this short break. Of course, we got another guest coming up, and I'm going to be diving in with Miss Anita Beck from Nikky's Niche Designs. We're going to be having our first Fashion Friday segment, y'all, right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
What up, y'all? It's T-Dub. I'm here at Converge Media to let you know about my new venture, The Resole. We are introducing Seattle's first dry cleaner for sneakers, and we want you to be a part of it. Head over to www.theresole206.com this Juneteenth weekend for our official website launch.
Hey there, it's Trae Holiday. And of course, Besa and I had to take a trip back to Market Street Shoes to grab some items. They always know what to show us. And let me tell you, we both spent quality time to be sure we collected some amazing additions to our wardrobes. They have some of the most unique bags, shoes, and accessories. I mean, the whole shebang. It's always a good time when I get to shop with my girl Besa. Make sure you go check out Market Street Shoes, y'all, and you too can walk out with some dope gear. Welcome back, everybody, to The Day with Trae. Joining me right now in my new living room set, I got to give a huge shout out to Onika, Be Unique out here. You guys know Onika. She keeps our sets lit. She did this work for me. Thank you so much, sis. We love you, and I definitely appreciate it. It is making all of the vibes and energy pop off. You know how I get down. But joining me right now is Miss Anita Beck with Nikky's Niche Designs. What's up, Miss Anita?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited.
Yeah, well, I see you wearing one of your fashions. You look fabulous.
Yes. I'm trying to sport my stuff. I love color. I love design. So I have to bring it out everywhere I go.
Yeah, you know what? Almost definitely weekly, I'm wearing something that I purchased from you. Just about, I think, every week.
And I am so grateful. It is just great to see you flash and shine like that in my designs. I love it. Thank you so much for supporting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. I mean, people talk to me all the time, and it was something I wanted to do here on The Day with Trae, was to really dive into all of this amazing fashion we have here. Because I think there's a misnomer. People think, Pacific Northwest, they don't dress up there. They don't do this. I heard people say that coming from Detroit and Chicago or wherever else.
Yes,
and they're like, they don't do it. And then they're like, well, you don't look like you live here. And I'm like, I'm born and raised here. So I'm an example of us doing it.
Right.
Tell us a bit about your past and what got you to say that I'm going to do fashion. I'm going to do it this way, because you bring out a lot of Ankara, a lot of different fabrics from, Africa. And the way that you create designs is phenomenal to me, obviously, because I'm always buying them. But tell us a bit about what got you there.
Okay, well, I've always sewed. My mother was a seamstress. My grandmother was a seamstress, and I learned very young that if you wanted something unusual and different, you had to create it yourself because it wasn't out there in the fashion world for girls of my color and my size as a teenager. I started off doing fashion shows in high school, and when I got out into the real world, I realized that there really wasn't a place for me and what I like to do. So I had to go into the corporate world and, do my thing. And actually, I was blessed to do 32 years working for the state of Washington. And when I retired, I was able to pick up my passion. I love fabrics. I love color. I just love designing stuff. I like to see the fabric itself come out in the design instead of it being, you just using fabric to make something.
Yeah.
So yeah, about 10 years ago, I started my company, and I've been blessed that it's blooming, and I keep getting new people and new things to create, and I love it. I love it. It's so great to do what you love.
Well, I can tell that you love it. As a customer of yours, I am always greeted with so much positive energy coming into your booth. If I see you at the vendor, you also were doing mobile boothing. You had it
Yes.
all in the van. I mean,
Yeah.
y'all don't even understand. I said, I need some new pieces. She's like, girl, meet me down here. Met her. Everything was in the van, so organized. Tell us about that, because I feel that that's real innovation. You are not just a vendor who's setting up at events, but you also had this idea to track out a van to make sure that you were carrying designs with you. Tell us a bit about that level of your business.
Okay, well, it started with the need to be out in the public. I didn't want a storefront. I didn't want to sit in a store and wait for people to come to me. Being retired and being stuck in one place, travel is, my goal. So I created what I think is the first mobile boutique in Washington State. And I just created a vehicle. I bought a vehicle and had it fitted and outlined for all my stuff so I can open it up. And my motto is I bring the store to your door. All you have to do is call me. I'm old fashioned. You pick up the phone within a couple hours. I'll be there where you are. You can shop out of my store and my mobile store, and then I'm gone. It's like the internet when it's personal.
I love this so much. I bring the store to your door. Yes, I'm here for it all day. Well, there's a lot of events going on. Also, normally at so many different events, and we just witnessed it with Juneteenth. There were so many different things going on. I think people were all over the place. Tell us a bit about where we can find you this summer, maybe at some of these amazing events.
Well, yeah, most of the Black-oriented events I should be at this year. Emojo Fest was one of them. I'll be in Kent. I can't think off the top of my head all of them, but it'll be on my website or on my Facebook page. You can find me just about every weekend. If there's the sun's out and there's a park where people are hanging out, I should be there. But like I said, I'm mobile, so all you have to do really is call me. I'll come to you anytime.
Well,
That's what I love to do.
There it is. Miss Anita Beck. You can look right there. Make sure folks know how to find you. I know you have Instagram, you have other things. Just tell
Yes.
them right there, because
Right.
people ask me all the time, and now I'm bringing her to y'all. So it sounds like she will bring the store to your door as well. Make sure that folks know where they can find
Yes.
you.
Nikky Snitch Design can be found on Facebook, Instagram. I have a website, MissNickys.com. You can check out what's new there. Like I said, I'm old fashioned. Just give me a call. My phone number can be found on all those platforms. Call me. I'll come to you. But Nikky Snitch Design is here to serve you and try to make you look beautiful and feel good. So check me out whenever you have a chance. I love it.
Yeah, you know what? And I love you. I'm gonna tell you, because I do be feeling fabulous in all your designs.
You do. You do.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on my first Fashion Friday segment. Appreciate you for coming in. I can't wait to see you when you come again. You guys will be seeing more of Miss Anita Beck, because she's going to be sharing some of her amazing fashions with all of us.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all my customers who support me. When you support a small business, you support a dream.
That's
and
right.
everybody has a dream.
Thank you so much, Miss Anita.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Inspiration overflowing over here, y'all. And that inspiration is going to continue up with my next guest. I got Miss Rasheeda Frazier joining me. We're going to be talking all about empowering greatness Inc. INC. All right, you guys stay tuned after this short break. I want you guys to get empowered right after this. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trae Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
What up, y'all? It's T-Dub. I'm here at Converge Media to let you know about my new venture, The Resole. We are introducing Seattle's first dry cleaner for sneakers, and we want you to be a part of it. Head over to www.theresole206.com this Juneteenth weekend for our official website launch.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Day with Trae. I am so glad y'all have been on this journey with me this day, and I am so honored that Miss Rasheeda Frazier is joining me, Empowering Greatness Inc. And I'm gonna tell you, Miss Rasheeda came all the way from the East Coast. What's up?
What's up? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Listen, I'm blessed. I'm blessed that you're even having me sit on this new seat and one of the first people. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you do a lot of different things out in the community and where you are from. And I just want people to know a little bit about what got you into, what is Empowering Greatness Inc.? What got you started?
Wow. So Empowering Greatness Inc. started as a brainchild when I actually would volunteer at my son's school. So I was a volunteer guidance counselor for the high school, helping to prep for all the teenagers going to college, getting them ready for SATs, college applications. And I realized that as I began to talk to the students, a lot of them didn't want to go to college. It was like, why do I have to go? I don't want to go. And I said, well, if you don't go to college, what are you going to do? So the conversations began, and I realized that a lot of them had a lot of talent that could be cultivated. They just didn't have resources and education around cultivating that talent into an actual business. So I began to mentor and teach entrepreneurship. So that's how Empowering Greatness came about, because it was simply a way for me to empower these youth. And it turned into a full-fledged business maybe about 4 or 5 years later, because I realized that in helping the students, I also began to help their parents. And then in helping their parents, I began to get referrals. And then people would go, so I know someone who wants to start a business. And then it began, I know someone who has a business, but their business is not thriving. Their business is not flourishing. And I decided to craft this program to kind of teach people how to thrive and grow within entrepreneurship, within business ownership. And I geared it toward people of color because we have the least amount of access to foundational tools to build businesses. And that's where it kind of all sparked from.
Well, beautiful story, honestly. And the fact that it is so needed all throughout the country, in our communities, this is real. I mean, every other Thursday, I get to sit down with Curtis Calhoun, and he shares tips that he uses for clients to empower them. And it's in a wide variety of things, because as you just said, there you were starting with youth, and you realized these same tools and tips that you were giving them are helping their families, helping their parents. This is a beautiful story. So tell us a bit about some of the things that you walk a client through so that they can, begin to get those foundational tools under their belt.
So it all starts with mindset. So to be a client with me, you have to be vulnerable and open to change, because a lot of times people think that they know what it is to be an entrepreneur, or that they can just Google it and say, hey, well, they said I need this, this, and this. So what does that mean to you? So it really starts with the self. So I work with people on their mindset, what that looks like, how they manage themselves at home, how they manage themselves on the job, how to change their mindset from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. And then we begin to tackle exactly what it is that they want to do. We begin to build that process out. So people go, oh, well, that's just a business plan. It is. But do you know how many people have somebody else write their business plan? And they don't even really understand the nature and the crux of their business. They just want to hurry up, get it done, and move fast. So my method is slower, but it's proven in the long run, because people then begin to understand their business. They begin to know their business. They begin to know themselves as entrepreneurs. Then we start going into all of the tools around financing and budgeting. A lot of people think I can just be an entrepreneur, not understanding financially what that looks like. So I take them on a series of steps, hand holding. I do it in group sessions, but I also do it on one-to-one basis, because I find that the assignments that they get, so it's almost like school, because they're learning to relearn how to really be a business owner and to be productive and to grow their businesses and to do all of these things. So
yeah, learning to relearn.
Yeah.
That is key.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate this, because you're so right. I think oftentimes people get into business and they think, oh, I got this down, because the idea is there and the idea is strong. So it comes with its own set of energies, right?
Absolutely.
And so sometimes they just need that other person to kind of come in so they can really level up. This is beautiful. I mean, when you think about now, having a business throughout COVID, I mean, I think a lot of business owners have definitely had to make that adjustment. Tell us about some of the ways that you were able to continue empowering greatness through this pandemic.
Actually, empowering greatness flourished through the pandemic because everybody lost their jobs. And people were like, what am I going to do for money? And then people were like, oh my God, I think I have an idea for a business. And that's where I came in, because I literally was able to help, I think, if my stats are correct, I think I helped about 65 people over the course of the pandemic get their business plans in short order, mindset, all the foundational tools, and then flourish. We incorporated businesses. I held their hand all the way through, and they're still flourishing to this day.
That's a beautiful success story, Miss Frazier. That right there gave me some little bit of goosies, because we always, and I say this so many times, we understand that our economics here in this country really are built on the backbone of small business. And I think particularly in Black and Brown communities, we have to be able to understand that those ideas, not only are they good for whatever you're using them for, but when you bring them out as a business entity, you really reap so many more benefits, because now you're talking about creating something that may create generational wealth. You can pass it down to your kids. These are tools and tips and tricks that you can use personally, but also professionally, while helping other people. So I love this entire thing. Of course, we're over here on the West Coast. So I got to ask, I mean, do you take clients from all over? How do you build your client base?
I take clients from all over. I've got clients in Wisconsin, Chicago. I've got clients in Minnesota. I've got clients in New York, New Jersey, Philly, Atlanta. I'm all over.
Well, this is great, because now we get to experience your greatness as empowering greatness right here. Make sure you look right there and let the folks know how they can find you, catch up with you if they need your coaching.
So Empowering Greatness can be found on all social media platforms, excluding Twitter. And it is Empower Great. That's it, at Empower Great. And if you would like to visit my website, it's www.empowergreat.com. My business line is there. Email, you can get in contact with me. If you are all about social media, then you can also DM me as well.
Oh, Miss Rasheeda Frazier, thank you so much.
Oh, you are welcome.
For gracing us with your presence. And I can tell that you definitely empower greatness, because you embody greatness. So thank you so much for being with me today.
You. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I told y'all we're going to have a lot of inspiration on this Friday. We got Cesar Canizales, who just told us about $23 million that was dropping in the community. Also got to tap in with Miss Anita Beck from Nikky's Niche Designs. I do wear a lot of her clothes. So when y'all are asking me where am I getting stuff from, one thing I love is some exclusivity. So she don't do a bunch of the same thing, which is great because you guys also too can benefit from her amazing designs that she creates. And of course, Miss Rasheeda Frazier just told you if you are looking to level up, she can help you empower your greatness. So make sure you guys check her out on all those platforms mentioned. I want to thank all of you guys for joining me today. And of course, I want you to be inspired by these guests. You guys know my message is the same. When you're inspired, you can really see yourself as a part of the solution, which is necessary for all of us to be digging in so that we can make this world the place we really want to see. Of course, amid so much news out there, I can't even get into Roe v. Wade today, y'all. Couldn't even do it. But with so much going on out there in the world, it is important for all of us to be able to utilize our voices in a collective manner. The ways that my guest today has shown you how they're seeing themselves as a part of the solution is all necessary. When we're all doing that, we all become better. So I want to encourage you, push that button on yourself and level up and see yourself as a part of the solution. Of course, on Monday, I get to have Faraji Bhakti back in the building. He is going to be giving us some more yoga tips and tools. Health and wellness is important to me right here on The Day with Trae. And I want to make sure we bring those messages out to you all. And so enjoy your fabulous weekend. And until Monday at 11 a.m., peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.